Hi everybody, John Meadows here, and today we're going to talk about the 4 reasons that you're not losing body fat. So I'm going to get right into this. And the number one reason I think people are failing is because they're following cookie cutter plans. This is very prevalent in the health and fitness industry. There are coaches that'll have a plan that they send out to everybody. It doesn't matter if it's a 120-pound female or 220-pound male, somebody at 12% body fat, somebody 25% body fat, it doesn't matter. They send them the exact same plan. It blows my mind that this still exists in our industry, but it does. Cookie cutter plans, the reason why they don't work is because they do not take into account your lifestyle or your preferences. So for instance, your lifestyle. I used to work at JP Morgan Chase years ago. And I had a lot of meetings during the day. So if I got one of these cookie cutter plans and it said at 10 o'clock you're going to have chicken and rice, and at 2 o'clock you're going to have chicken and rice, well, I was in meetings half the time, so there's no way I could even follow that plan. Or you have somebody that's maybe a personal trainer and they have clients back to back to back to back. So you tell them to bust out 6 ounces of steak, 2 cups of rice, a cup of broccoli. They don't have time to sit down and eat all that. Or if they do, if they shove it down, they're probably doing their digestive system a disservice. So you really got to take into account people's lifestyle. The other thing is these cookie cutter plans don't take into account preferences. So let's say I hate chicken, and then you gave me the chicken and rice plan. Well, I hate chicken, so I'm immediately not going to follow it. I'm going to start replacing it with something else, and maybe I replace it with something that has more calories. So now my calories are way off. The other thing is a lot of times these plans, they don't take into account things like food allergies, food insensitivities as well. So now not only are we talking about you not hitting your goals, now you can actually get sick and you can have issues. So these cookie cutter plans, they just have to stop. That's number one. Number two, the second reason why you're not losing weight is because you have no real accountability. For some people, they can get away with no accountability, but for many of us, it's really, really hard. Accountability is going to do so many things for you. So one of the first things you have to take a look at is your actual meal plan. And tracking calories, macronutrients, all those things, you have to know what's going in your body. A lot of times people will say, yeah, I think I'm eating 3,000 calories a day, but you sit down with them. And they had a snack here, they had a snack there, they weren't really sure about that portion size. So their math could be way off. And you all know that in order to lose body fat, you have to be in a caloric deficit. Well, many times people underestimate how much they're really eating. If you have a system set up where you're actually measuring your food and tracking your calories, that is accountability. You have to follow that. If you don't follow it, it's going to impact your progress. There are other ways to have accountability. You can have your body fat measured. Maybe at the gym, there's somebody there that can test your body fat. Now, I like to keep this nice and simple. I love underwater body fat readings, but I realize not everybody can just run out to a facility and get their body fat checked underwater. But what you can do is at many gyms where you train at, there is a trainer or somebody there that can measure body fat. And it doesn't need to be real complicated. What I tell people to do is take the 2 fattest areas of your body and just measure those. So for me, it's my kidney area. That's where I keep my body fat, in my subscap. Those are the 2 areas for me. So if I go in there and I measure my biceps and my quads, which I carry no body fat on, I'm going to think, yeah, I'm really lean. That's not what you want to look at though. You want to watch the progress of your fattest areas. If the progress of your fattest areas, if that skin fold is coming down, then you're doing excellent. That's number 2. Make sure you have accountability. Make sure you're using a plan where you follow the food measurements, the calories, the macros. Make sure you're recording everything. Make sure you have some way of checking your progress. It could be skin folds. The other one could be pictures. You can use a coach to look at pictures, or you could just set pictures side by side and you can look at them every week. Sometimes it's hard for us to judge when we see ourselves all the time. That one's a little bit trickier. I would tend to rather have somebody else look at that for me, but that's up to you. But have some kind of accountability. Number 3, the third reason why you're not making progress is because of extreme plans. Now, extreme plans can work very well initially, but the idea here is to have success long-term, not for 3 weeks, 6 weeks. You want it long-term. And this can be many different factors. Like for instance, training. Maybe you're training 4 times a week. You're lifting weights 45 minutes a day. Then all of a sudden you get real motivated and you start doing 60 minutes of cardio in the morning, 30 minutes at night. You're training 6 days a week and you make great progress. And then you realize it's not sustainable. You can't do it. So then you kind of fall apart. You miss some sessions. You start beating yourself up, and mentally you're in a bad place. This also happens with diets. I see all these extreme diets out there and they're complete nonsense. I see people saying never eat carbs, don't eat carbs. I see people saying don't eat any fat. Now, the reality is if you're trying to get ready for a huge bodybuilding competition, like for example, when I was getting ready for the Arnold Classic, I had a very extreme diet, but it was for short term only, and it wasn't meant to be sustainable. What I want you all to do is I want you to have success that's sustainable. Okay, you're not all trying to eat 1,600 calories like I was, walking around like I was going to fall over at any second. So these extreme plans where you eliminate all carbohydrates or you eliminate all fat, they're not going to work. You're not going to be able to stick with it. Eventually, you're going to want to have some carbohydrates. You're going to want to have some ice cream with your kids or something. Or you're going to want to have some fats. You're going to want to have, you're going to want to go out and have some steak or something with your family. But those extreme plans are not sustainable. So stay away from those extreme plans, both training and nutritionally. Number 4, and the last one, the last reason why you're not being successful, losing body fat, and maintaining it is you're not having fun. I see this over and over. I've been doing this for 30 some years and I see people get real excited and they're working hard and then they just say, I'm not going to the gym today. I'm not going to follow my meal plan today. They just don't enjoy the process. They're not having fun. If you're having fun, your chances of sticking to the plan are much, much, much higher. So how do you have fun? Pick a good training partner. Have someone come to the gym that you enjoy training with, that you're going to have fun with, somebody that'll push each other. I'm fortunate to have had the same training partner for the last 20 years now. And we push each other and we have a good time. So pick a good training partner. If you don't have a good training partner, pick some exercises that you enjoy. I know everybody says you got to do unlimited amounts of, an infinite amount of squats and deadlifts, and if those things are fun, crank on them. But if you can't stand a deadlift because it hurts your back, then don't do it. Do exercises that you actually enjoy, exercises that you know you're going to do when you come into the gym. They shouldn't be so crazy and far-fetched that they're, one-arm bicep curls on a BOSU ball. That's pretty silly. But pick an exercise regimen that you actually enjoy. If you like to get outside and walk and do your cardio, I always enjoyed walking in the mornings. There was just something about it that got my day off to a good start. Then get out and walk in the morning. Don't go to the gym and get on a treadmill and just kind of mindlessly trot along on a treadmill when you would feel better if you went outside. So pick things that you actually enjoy. Pick a partner that you enjoy training with. Make sure you're enjoying your actual workout routine. Make sure all those things are enjoyable to you. And then the other thing is the food part of it. If you don't like fish, then don't put together a diet that has 6 cans of tuna a day in it, or you're just eating, swapping cod with red snapper meal to meal. If you do like fish, then by all means, put some more fish in there. So take a look at the kind of food you like, and this is what I like to do with people too. I always, in my questionnaire, I always say, what kind of foods do you enjoy? And I try to base their diet around things that they enjoy because I know their chances of sticking to it are a lot better. Let's say they tell you, well, I enjoy having donuts and chocolate. You know what I'll do? One time a week, I'll let them have a little bit of donut, maybe 2 donuts, and let them have a little bit of chocolate. Dark chocolate's good for you anyway. So the diet doesn't have to be incredibly restrictive as long as you're in that caloric deficit, which we talked about earlier. So have a good time. Make sure you enjoy this. I love doing this. I've been doing it for over 3 decades. I enjoy going to the gym. I enjoy eating a certain way. So that is tip number 4. If you like that video, I know you're going to love my app, available on the Google Play Store for Android, iPhones, in the Apple Store. There's so much information on here, it's amazing. Training, workouts, hundreds of workouts, nutrition methodology questions, chemical enhancement, supplementation, client prep, and a Q&A button. Check it out.